Hello everyone, welcome to today's news chatter. Let's begin with a prelims practice question. Take a look at this question. When it comes to economy, generally, the recent trends, the current changes, the dynamics of Indian economics are given importance, especially in prelims. Even in mains, these things are very important. You need to be aware of the recent changes. You need to be completely aware of the recent developments, schemes, etc. So two statements are provided and they are asking which among the above is correct. Household savings has been increasing recently, which is an absolutely wrong statement, and it has been a very big problem in India. Household savings are declining, household investments are declining, private investment has been declining. So these are all the major structural problems of India. So that is a wrong statement. The net financial savings of the household is the difference between its gross financial savings and borrowing. Generally, when we talk about the net of anything, we calculate the depreciation. We try to reduce the depreciation. But when we talk about net financial savings, savings is something which comes after you give the money that you have borrowed, give the interest that you have paid. So when we talk about net financial savings, it is the gross financial savings minus the borrowings which a person has to be given. So it is only the second statement which is correct. Such concepts be very clear when it comes to economics. Study the basics very well so that you will be in a position to answer. The first topic of the day, HFSS, food regulation. High fat, sugar, and salt food. High fat, sugar, and salt food has been a major problem in the recent times. The FSSAI, that is Food Standards Regulatory Authority of India, the Food Standards and Safety Authority of India, FSSAI, has not been taking much measure. Is a major criticism that has been placed on the FSSAI. So, from a UPSC aspirant's point of view, what you need to know is what exactly is high fat, sugar, and salt. Is there any definition given by FSSAI, and what measures have been taken to prevent health problems because of such kind of junk food? HFSS, that is high fat, sugar, and salt. All these things are very dangerous to the health. Generally, we talk about alcohol, or we talk about cigarettes, tobacco, etc., which are very dangerous to health. As much those things are dangerous, these things are also dangerous. High fatty sugar and salt food are again dangerous, but we never care about it. Our children keep having such food, and it is because the government has not been taking strict regulation against them. We cannot expect the people to take steps in this case because when you see certain products all over the shops, people tend to purchase these products. So it is for the government to regulate. So let's get into the topic. HFSS food means processed food, not natural food. In nature, such amount of high salt, sugar, fat will not be there. It is only when you process it and add something, then it becomes a HFSS food. So it is a highly processed food which has high level of saturated fat or total sugar or sodium. Salt is sodium chloride. If a product derives more than 10 percentage of total energy from sugar or saturated fat, then the product has high fat or sugar. If 10 percentage of the total energy that a person receives from the food is from sugar or is from salt, then it should be considered as a high sugar or high fatty product. So this is the basic definition which FSSAI has been provided. Here, one thing when we need to be very careful when we talk about fatty food, we talk about saturated fat, not unsaturated fat. Saturated fat is something which get deposited in your body very easily. So we talk about saturated fat food. So FSSAI, that is Food Safety Standards Authority of India, has kept the regulation open-ended. So there is no clear-cut regulation about what whether the company should declare their product has high fat, sugar, or salt content in the front page. When you take a product, if mostly the ingredients, the preservatives, other ingredients that are in the food product, that is mentioned in the back side of the product, not in the front side. So FSSAI has not given any regulation regarding that until now. They consider giving a health rating star. So just like how your electronic products have a star rating for the energy consumption, in the same way, they are thinking that we will give a health rating for all the food products. The problem is people don't understand, and people think that with a high health rating, this product is very healthy, but even then, it will be having sugar and salt and fat. So this is not a right solution. They have given a regulation, that is food safety and standards, food for instant infant nutrition regulation 2019. In 2019, what the regulation says, it says sugar is allowed in milk, cereal based complementary food. So I hope you understand why this product has been discussed here, because recently Nestle's infant products for children have been found that it is having high amount of sugar in it, and they are selling it as health mix. So this is a major problem. The problem is not with Nestle, it is with FSSAI, because they have allowed the adding of sugar in infant food. Regulation says that lactose and glucose polymers shall be preferred carbohydrate for food and infant nutrition. Lactose, a sugar that is taken from milk. Glucose, again, a sugar derivative taken from multiple different food items. So they say that that is preferable carbohydrate for food and infant nutrition also. Sucrose or fructose shall not be added. Sucrose and fructose are again other derivatives of sugar, other different types of sugar. They have said that sucrose and fructose should not be added. So this point you can note down. It will be helpful for your prelims examination unless needed as a carbohydrate source, and provided the sum of these does not exceed 20% of total carbohydrate. So the regulations which you need to remember is sucrose and fructose should not be added unless there is a requirement, and 20% of carbohydrate should not be derived from these kind of sugars. And what is a HFSS food? If 10% of total energy is derived from them, it is called as HFSS food. So these are all the basic things you need to know from examination point of view. Global Financial Stability Report, IMF, has given the Global Financial Stability Report. The most important point to note here is IMF itself. Global financial stability is given by IMF. It's not by World Bank. It is not by European Union. It is not by any other organization. It is by International Monetary Fund. So, Global Financial Report of this year, what does it tell? They points out certain risks to the global financial stability. High amount of inflation. Almost all Western countries have been facing high inflation, rising lending in unregulated credit market. Regulated credit market is through bank. If unregulated credit markets are lending more money, that's a problem, because it is very difficult for them to recover the money. Increasing cyber attack on financial institutions is also a major problem. Apart from that, certain general observations they have made, we need to be aware of it. Investors have been pushing up the prices of financial assets. So if you see in the recent, the stock market has been rising up. The cost, the price of the stocks have been increasing, because people think that in future the economy is going to rise. So it is based on an assumption they are working, but will it rise or not is a big question. West Asia and Ukraine could affect the war in the West Asia and Ukraine could affect ingredient supply. And if the supply is not coming up, then again inflation will happen. IMF also notes that fund flow into emerging market have been strong. For example, consider India. Into India, a lot of foreign investors are investing. Investors are pouring in their money, because they feel that India is a rising market, whereas the West is completely concentrated. India was the second largest recipient of foreign capital, which was the first country, the United States of America. People generally think that it is China, but it is a completely developed superpower, that is United States of America, which receives highest amount of foreign capital. Severe outflow of capital is a major threat for Indian economy also. If there is any kind of problem, then all these foreign investors who have invested in Indian market will take their money and run away. which will result in huge impact on Indian economy. So this is a major problem. Also, all these foreign investments are coming because they think that in future the United States and other European countries will reduce their interest rate. But if they have not reduced it, then these people will take their money and go to United States itself. MPOTS, just basic idea you need to know. MPOTS was called as monkeypox. Now they have renamed it as MPOTS. Monkeypox is a kind of a smallpox, a variant of POTS disease, which spreaded when the POTS virus started attacking certain monkeys in a laboratory, and later it spread all over the world. So it is similar to POTS virus. It is a DNA virus. This point is important. Whenever you are studying about any viral disease, first you need to know whether it is a DNA virus or RNA virus. It is a viral zoonotic disease. Zoonotic means disease which is attacking animals. And it is similar to smallpox. The symptoms are a little different. In smallpox, generally we get a lot of rashes and a lot of small wounds. The same way here also we will get a lot of rashes similar to chickenpox. Apart from that, we'll get fever, malaise, headache, etc. But it is not as dangerous as the smallpox because smallpox kills around 33% of its of the people who were affected by smallpox. But in mpox, the amount of fatality is very less. Primary infection is through direct contact with blood, bodily fluid, cutaneous or mucosal lesions of infected animal. Only with direct contact it will spread. Later, it can spread from one person to another person or by eating uncooked or half-cooked meat, etc. Vaccines and therapeutics developed for smallpox can be used in mpox also. So just a basic information you need to know, go through it very well. Jal Jeevan Mission for prelims and mains, it is very important, especially in the recent times. It is important because India has been facing serious water scarcity in several parts of the country because of extreme amount of heat wave. So what exactly is Jal Jeevan Mission? Whenever you talk about Jal Jeevan Mission, the first thing you need to remember is 55 liters of water per person per day to every rural household by 2024 through functional household tap connection. Proper tap connection should be provided to each and every household in the rural India and provide a minimum of 55 liters of water per day. That should be available. So this is the basic aim. All other things can be easily understood. It is a Jan Andolan. It is run by the Jal Shakti Ministry. The mission ensures functionality of existing water supply, water connection, quality monitoring of water supply, testing, and even sustainable agriculture. So this point is important. Generally, when we talk about questions and prelims, it is with these kind of statements they will make the question a little difficult. We are talking about water, but here it includes sustainable agriculture also. And apart from that, they talk about source augmentation, supply system, grey water treatment, etc., which you can study and remember it. The most important point here is it is a community-based approach. Why it is a community-based approach? Because when we are giving a service to each and every rural village of the country, it is very difficult for a centralized power to monitor it. It would always be better if the Gram Sabha or the people themselves monitor it. So they envisages constructing of a Pani Samiti, which will have certain people who are in the village, the general people itself, who are members of the Gram Sabha also. So they will do all the management and everything, whatever problems they will request the Gram Sabha and Gram Sabha will approve the plan and do the necessary thing. And it is a central scheme. So how the fund is to be divided? It is a centrally sponsored scheme. So between states and center, it is 90 is to 10 for Himalayan and Northeastern states, 50 is to 50 for other states, 100% for Union Territory. A very, very important point. Because generally, when we talk about centrally sponsored schemes, it is 60 is to it is generally 60 is to 40, right? 60 is to 40. But here we are talking about 50 is to 50. So this point should be noted down very clearly. So try to remember this point. It is very important. One important point for prelims, multi-layer cropping. So these kind of very simple definitions is where you get a lot of questions to. So you need to know about them. What is multi-layer cropping? Just take a look at this diagram. This explains everything. At different layer, at different heights, different types of flora is grown. For example, here you see sorghum is grown. The first layer, second you have maize, then cassava, and then in the top there is a big tree which will bear fruits or whatever it is, fruits or vegetable or anything. Then you have the banana tree, then yams, then papaya, then sweet potato. So multiple things are grown together in a same field at the same time at different height so that sunlight can reach all the different plants, right? And this will provide the necessary shade to these plants. The tree will provide the canopy of the tree will provide shade to these plants because these must be those plants which cannot take extreme amount of heat. So this is how multi-layer cropping works. Try to read it and remember it. Growth in net tax collection. So recently, the today's newspaper, it was mentioned very clearly that India's net tax collection has increased 17.7% in 2023 to hit 19.58 lakh crore. Data is not much important, but it has been increasing, which is important. And the most important point, why it is increasing. Whenever tax is increasing or decreasing, you need to know why it is happening. It is happening because people are paying more income tax, more formalization. The government has been trying to formalize the economy from 2014, more formalization, so more income tax and security transaction tax because more people are investing in the stocks in the capital market. So that will be all for today. All the best. Do study well. Let's meet tomorrow and click on the like button so that you will get the videos every day. All the best.